like you said, Jorby, JNaps, that shot was so hard. And if it was just a few miles per hour slower, there would have been a save on that. But the power he got behind that just caught the defense sleeping.
All right, we're going to Wasteland Night. It's time for Game 5. Who's going to take series advantage? Justin. He's been trying to create space. He's been trying to make those flashy plays, but G2, for the most part, rock solid, and still, it does not stop. JNaps forces the 50 to Chicago, who puts it in.
Yeah, just look at his placement right here. He's just waiting, just sitting in the box waiting, just in case that ball pinches out to the left, just like it did. Great placement by Chicago, just being in the right place at the right time.
Garrett, first up on this touch. G2 are going to take it away again. And a lot of small touches, not just willingly giving it away to NRG, hoping for a poor touch or hoping for a touch back to yourself, but every touch trying to get something productive done to move the ball forward. G2 have been successful. Here's a demo to open up space, but Garrett's kept Chicago honest on the midfield line.
That was a great touch by Garrett. I don't know how he got that much power behind that ball, and placement as well to give NRG time to not only get boost, but just position themselves on the field, and tons of space given to JNaps. Chicago drops it down, but Garrett G pinches it back out, and another shot from G2. Already 3 in the first minute, and the onslaught continues.
JNaps pops this up for Drees. It's a perfect touch from JNaps to Drees. NRG are just left on the back wall, and they're a little haphazard here. A couple of missed touches. JNaps, well, I think Garrett got the boost from him. I don't know, JNaps got it. Drees. The pop-up off the ramp. Chicago on the 50. Still, G2 are going to press. They love just 50ing that ball into the corner as often as possible. Checking out a demo. Drees on the musty, and it was too weak. JNaps, no boost, just going to punch it away.
Almost had him, but I think Squishy saw that one coming and didn't want to give him any space to complete any moves that he has up his sleeves, as Justin just missed that double tap there as he was coming back down to the ground. And NRG, plenty of time to work with, and definitely a team that does not panic regardless of how much time is left on the clock. If they're 1 goal behind, they know that it doesn't matter. Even if there's 0 seconds left, they still can get things moving.
You thought after version 1 X-Set, I don't know if anyone expected that match to be the banger that it was, but then NRG G2 starting to one-up it here. Garrett, on the catch, and it's taken away. JNaps quickly breaking that one up.
Yeah, again, it's just not giving the opponent any time to work with. It's so frustrating sometimes when you see a defender just sitting there waiting, giving so much time and opportunity to the player that has ball control, but not these guys. They are just taking every opportunity that's given to them.
Justin couldn't get a 50 favorable for his team. Garrett, his boost gets stolen away. He'll take out the player in revenge. Drees got the catch on the air dribble. Underneath Justin, well, the 50 will go back out to JNaps. JNaps kicks it high to commit from NRG, but Garrett stays on the backboard and gets down. Justin, nice catch. And he gets the 50 as well. NRG are going to push forward. That's tough for NRG to stay on the orange half. They get that ball downfield. The transition looks good. The flip reset looks good. And Justin puts NRG on his back for an NRG goal.
Oh, watch Drees here. He says, okay, I'm going to cheat up when this ball drops. Oh, you did me. You did me dirty like that. Oh, Justin. The ball control. We were telling you, Drees. Doesn't matter where he is. He can control it like no other. And looking like a Harlem Globetrotter there, just spinning that ball around. Puts NRG right back in game number 5.
He usually hasn't had space like that. Oh, JNaps got the 50 denied by Squishy. Drees next up, punches it high. A demo on the backside. Here comes the shot. It's too high from Chicago. Next up has got to be JNaps, and he has to wait for Justin's touch. Chicago shades him off the ball. Wow, G2 have just been so good at stealing the ball away from NRG. When you think they're going to start grabbing possession, G2 find a way out, either with a slight bump, a boost steal, whatever. We've been talking about it all game, but G2 just keep being successful at it. And NRG, a lot of awkward plays they have to handle off their own back wall. Takes a bump here from Justin to give Garrett space. Garrett underneath, off the ramp. JNaps got the catch. Justin tries to force it forward. And a battle right now for possession in G2's third. JNAPS has a little bit of space, but Garrett closes the gap. Garrett almost got the dunk. Justin has to pull off a little bit. That gives JNAPS time to get the 50.
And again, less than a minute to go. All tied up. G2 with the ball in NRG's half in Chicago. Just taking a shooter's chance at it, just firing on target, but they're squishy. And none other than JNAPS covering up the back line for G2. And back and forth we go here. Less than 30 seconds to go. I mean, it can't be any closer, Jorby.
Well, they trade a couple of boomers. Are we really looking at a fifth straight overtime? There's no way. JNAPS, he's out of boost. Chicago needs a good touch, and he's got it. That corner has been deadly for G2 against them. That one pops up against the wall, and JNAPS puts it down. Garrett wants to play ball. Off the ceiling, Justin, he's got enough boost. Nope, he doesn't have enough boost. Drees trying to kill this ball. NRG keeping it in the air. 5 straight overtimes. Good teams play well. Good teams play well, Subi, and when that happens, overtimes happen. This is just the rule of law in Rocket League. JNAPS has a chance over here to Chicago, but no pass.
This is just unbelievable. I'm seriously just in awe right now of how this is happening. I mean, I get a few, but the entire series so far going to OTs, I mean, insane. We should have just had them do a shootout.
Just play one long, like 30-minute game. Here, pass in front, and that's a little wide, but JNAPS is going to get the boost on top of it. Off the ceiling for Chicago. Justin has to come far off, but he got the touch. Drees kicks it away from Squishy, and Garrett's ready for it and gets the ball downfield. NRG, again, in the offensive department, lacking only 4 shots. They haven't needed a lot to be able to score against G2 as they continue to press. And the shot count for G2 is as high as you think it is. 12 shots on target. Drees up high, has to pick up the save. Tough off the crossbar, but he's got it with no boost.
Oh.
JNAPS has to get to this ball quickly, and Justin just a little slower. Chicago punches the ball back to NRG territory.
I mean, thankfully for G2 there, Justin was coming from about the top of his own box there, so it gave a little room to JNAPS to work with to beat him to that ball as things starting to slow down a little bit here in overtime, as looks like might get close to our longest OT of the series if it continues like this. Justin puts a hard shot, turned away by Chicago, and pushing back down to Justin, but read well by Chicago. And back and forth, NRG going, but another shot put on target, and Garrett G almost had that dunk.
Justin's in the air. The shot just off the post. Squishy turns back around. Another shot taken away by Chicago. Garrett, pass over to Justin. Justin in front of Garrett. Garrett's in. NRG on top. 3-2 in the set.
Oh, and it's off of a 1-2-1 passing play. Justin back to Garrett. What a read, and he gets over Chicago. The defenders just looking silly, stuck on their wheels. And NRG, series point.